character, I starting to feel a bit uncomfortable. If I was at his place...
Welcome back to Horrible Games 2022. Thank you all again so much for joining us. We are raising money To Write Love on Our Arms, a wonderful organization, so please get your donations in. Coming up next, we've got a double header of Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. We're going to start with No Levels Early from Nestani. Nestani, whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right, what is up, everyone? My name is Nestani, as you said, and we are indeed running No Levels Early. We call it NLE a lot, so if you ever hear us say NLE, it's just the abbreviated form of this run. And today on commentary helping me out, I actually have the next runner that's about to go on, Cole, helping me with commentaries. Cole, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Coley, or Coley_02 as some people call me. And yeah, I'm a runner of this game. I love this category, and it's an honor to be here at Horrible Games.
Yeah, and so just some quick things about No Levels Early. You could probably tell from the name, but we are not allowed, the whole purpose of the category is that we're not allowed to enter a level early. And that is because this is a pretty long game. It's about a 6 to 8 hour game, and the 80% run that you're about to see Cole do after this is done in like 15 minutes. So we skip like a lot of the game. So we basically made this category just as a means of like seeing the whole game and kind of keeping the integrity of like the casual playthrough of the game. And so that's basically what we're doing. We're going through the levels as you would if you were going to play this game casually in the proper order. We're just going to do it really fast, and we're going to still be breaking the game in certain ways in order to access new snacks or just get through levels faster, but we'll get into that in a second. And the last thing is that we're running on the NTSC GameCube version of the game, running on the Wii console, which is the fastest version for this category. And so without further ado, timer will start on new game. Let's count down from 3, 2, 1 and go. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights is a 2.5D/3D action platforming Metroidvania, meaning that we're going to be doing a lot of platforming, and we're going to be collecting a bunch of upgrades. Now, these upgrades are called inventions. There are 11 of them in total, and in this category, we have to collect all 11 of them, because you need all 11 of them in order to beat the game. So that is what we're going to do, but first, we're going to take a little detour into the Mystic Playground. This is pretty much like a little tutorial place, but what we're here for is these things called Scooby Snacks, making this little chomping sound, this little sound. It's making that sound, and that's because we need these to pay unavoidable snack gates that we have to pay throughout the run. And since this is No Levels Early, we cannot skip any of these snack gates, so we have to pay all of them, save for one, and we'll get to that one a bit later on in the run. But for the first one, we're going to pay a 25 snack gate, and then after we pay the 25 snack gate, they scale all the way up to 850, and there's like 14 of them or something. So, you know, we have to pay a 500 gate, a 750 gate, so a big portion of this game will be snack collecting. Snacks are time in this run, and we'll talk more about that as we, you know, move along through this run. But first, we're going to get into Manor 1, where we're going to get this key to get Holly. And how we're going to do that is that we're actually going to do a little finicky jump here called Chandelier Jump and get those 2 snack boxes. And we want to prioritize snack boxes heavily throughout this run. And by heavily, I mean very heavily, because they are worth 5 snacks each. And Holly gives us the map upgrade, which will set us up for a trick later on in the run, which we'll get back to. And it'll trigger Don Knotts to spawn, who is the voice actor of the groundskeeper. Fun fact, he gives us the shovel because Scooby needs a shovel to dig, don't know why. And that shovel will allow us to dig up the key in order to get into the next room, the Shock on the Dock 1. And right now we are on our way to the Springs upgrade, which the Springs upgrade is basically the next upgrade, which allows us to double jump, which will allow us to get the key in order to enter Hedge 1. And I'm going to miss that snack box, and I'm going to come back for it. Normally, we don't actually want to turn around for snack boxes in this game, especially as things in this game are on cycles. So now I'm on a completely different cycle than what I'm normally on, and what cycles are is just anything that moves is on a set cycle. So these rats and like anything that moves, enemies, platforms, hooks, all of this is on a set cycle. So right now I'm running on a bit of a different cycle than usual, and basically we've routed every single room in this game to basically have some sort of cycle built into it. We're going to point out a lot of them, but we're probably going to skip some as well. But just know that we are passing in a way that we're maximizing the amount of snacks that we're collecting while also minimizing the amount of time we're spending in each level. Obviously, it's a speedrun. But we're passing a bit differently and getting these snacks because we just have to collect so many throughout the run in order to, you know, complete it. So right here, we're going to do a trick known as rubber band skip, where normally we're supposed to play this minigame with Shaggy in order to get up here to get the snack box. We're strong in a pit dog. We don't need no man, so we're just going to open our own way, and then we're just going to make our way over there. We're going to jump on this life preserver, get a little extra snack box here, and then we're going to make our way through and make our way and pay the 50 gate and make our way into Fear on the Pier.
Yeah, and here in Fear on the Pier, we're introduced to a new mechanic of the game called Tar. It's a sticky black surface that you can see right here, and it's really bad. It essentially only allows us to walk. You can't jump, you can't run, you can't do anything. It sucks, so we're trying to avoid it as much as possible. And here in this room, we're going to do a trick called Tar Strats, where Nestani actually uses a metronome to perfectly... that's unfortunate, but that's okay. It's very difficult. It's on the 5th beat, 78 BPM. But you can see right there, that's how we skip the tar by jumping on obstacles and things. And yeah, and the end of this room is the Springs power-up, which is essentially the double jump. So very, very important invention to get. And we're also going to do a really cool trick. We're going to do quite a few in this run, and it's called a pause storage upcoming here. And essentially how it works is that Nestani's going to quit the game and unplug the controller at the same time to bring up the second pause menu. You're going to hear the as well. And then you can see that there's 2 maps over each other, and he can warp basically from anywhere to any unlocked location. It's incredibly useful. You're going to see it a ton more times. And every time Nestani does a pause storage, he is at risk of quitting the game. If you mess this up, you can quit the game. So it's a very risky strat, but it saves a lot of time from backtracking and other things like that.
And I have safety saves, so it's not going to be, it's not a big deal. If I somehow miss it, which I won't, but if I do, because I have to say that, because as soon as I say I won't miss it, I'm going to miss it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But I do have saves. And so right now, in Hedge 1, I want to talk about Scooby's charge attack, which is this charge attack you see making a little drumming noise. And basically, this is our main form of movement. So you'll see me use this just bolting around all of these corners and stuff. But the coolest part about this is that, well, there's one part is that it's a bit unwieldy to use, and it's really hard to turn. So a property of it is that, like, when you're turning around corners like this, you actually turn faster if you move your control stick slower, which is a very weird thing that is just due to how Scooby's momentum carries himself. But also another fact about the charge attack is that you're slower at the beginning of the charge and faster at the end of it. So right here, you see I slow down and then I speed up exponentially. So in certain spots like right here, you're going to see me not charge because it's actually faster to not charge in these spots because I'm jumping for snack boxes rather than doing a B dash and then slowing a bit down. Right there, we're going to do a trick known as bridge jump in order to get up to the top of this a level earlier than intended. Now, we're not entering a level early, we're just getting to a different part of the level. And this is the big thing about NLE, is that we're not supposed to be here until we get the plungers upgrade in order to go up that slope you see in the background. But we're actually allowed to go up the slope because as long as we're not entering a level earlier than intended, it's legal, right? So we can do whatever we want in the levels, we can do whatever glitches we want in the levels, we just cannot say enter, we cannot skip any levels. We have to go in the intended order of levels. And speaking of the intended order of levels, we're going to make our way through Hedge 3, and then we're going to make our way into Hedge 4 next. And then I will shut up for a pretty long time, to be honest, because we're about to enter probably the hardest section of the run, one of them at least. So I'm going to pretty much just let Cole take over as we just walk around this tar, and we enter Hedge 4.
Yeah. So for those of you who played this game casually, this is probably a very infamous part of the game, very memorable. We're going to see right here that Shaggy is going to be out of control, just coming on in on the lawn. There he is. Oh, look at this. So this level is actually an auto-scroller where normally you'd have to ride on the tractor with the Shaggy because the ground is all thorny and you can get hurt. And obviously, if you get hurt too many times, then you die. But we're going to do a strategy called Shaggyless, where we're only going to use Shaggy for a little bit, but because we started this level with perfect health, 5 health, and because there are other health items throughout the room, we can actually do the rest of this room completely without Shaggy. So this is where we say goodbye to Shaggy. He served us well, but now is very important to start conserving our health, because you can see here when Nestani gets hurt, he actually has invincibility frame, so he can still walk. But you just have to time everything out perfectly. And the best part about this is that we can still get the snacks because of stuff like that, where you can jump on the light posts and things like that. But we can get all the snacks without actually having to have Shaggy. which is another key thing as to why this is so much better than performing in the auto scroller. So as you can see right here, we're at 2 health. We're gonna get hit one more time, and look at that. This is the end of the level. We made it. We barely just have enough health to get through this. But here's the thing. First of all, we're paying another snack gate. So you're gonna see that this is 150. So they're increasing in price now. And Nestani is at 1 health right now, which is very scary, especially for these levels right here, the greenhouse levels. They are filled with a ton of enemies and obstacles and things shooting at you, but yet you're going to see Nestani try and rush through it as well. It's a very risky level. Personally, one of my favorites in this run. It's a bit eye candy for me to see, but yep. So you can see that there's all these obstacles here. But another key thing to point out too that you'll see in a sec is Scooby's hitbox is quite interesting, and it allows us to kind of maneuver and get snacks without getting hurt. So you can see right here, Nestani grabbed that snack while it was in that green misting goo. You're going to see him do that quite a bit in this category, and that's just something that's very useful in any category, honestly. But yeah, Greenhouse 1 did it very well. The same thing here. There's a lot of obstacles that we need to avoid. We're just straight gunning it down on our way to the helmet still. And yeah, there's already another snack gate at the end of this room. This one, I believe, is 175. That's also a cycle you can make, by the way, with the scarecrows. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, you can see that these snack gates, they're getting a lot more frequent, getting a lot pricier. You can understand now what Nestani was talking about with snacks here. So here in Hill 1, immediately we're going to charge, and we're going to do another trick that we're not supposed to be able to do yet, but we're not entering a level early. There's a little invisible platform on that tree right there, and it allows us to come up here and collect all these snacks, because normally you would have to have the soap invention, which is the very last invention you actually get in the whole game, but we're able to do it right now because of this platform right here. And it's so much faster and safer than going through the bottom portion of this level, which is filled with a bunch more obstacles and things like that. We're still a bit concerned about our health right now. Yeah, there's the soap upgrade as well, because the soap was intended here. Also, these thorny bushes are, they're also obstacles, so you don't want to hurt them. Oh, yeah, we're fine. We should be fine on health.
Yeah, we're good
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now we're entering Hill 2, which is another area where we're actually going to go to a place in the level earlier than intended. But again, since we're not entering a whole level early, we're fine. And that's right here. Normally you're supposed to have the soap upgrade, and you're supposed to enter this from the other side, I believe, is the intended way.
Yes.
Because there is a scarecrow on the other side. Normally you're supposed to soap him. And basically what the soap does is it creates a little bubble around enemies. And you're not going to see us use it once throughout the whole run. But
yeah, that's important to mention. Yeah.
It basically puts a bubble around enemies and lets you jump off of them, and basically makes them into a platform. So right here, we're going to get these snack boxes, and then we're going to, and then we're going to activate that warp gate. And that's really important because we want to warp back here at a later date. But for now, we're just going through the rest of Hill, and we're making our way to the top of Hill where the helmet upgrade is. And basically the helmet upgrade allows us to kill enemies, as well as hit buttons and break open walls or spider webs, which you'll see in a second. And yeah, and I'm gonna do another pause storage at the top of the hill after I get the helmet. But before we get into manor, if we have any, if the hosts have any readings, now would be a good time to do it.
I was definitely not muted while I started talking. I totally was not.
For sure not.
Yeah, just want to let everybody know we are raising money for To Write Love on Our Arms. They are a nonprofit movement dedicated to presenting hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. To Write Love on Our Arms exists to encourage, inform, inspire, and invest directly into treatment and recovery. And if you need any more incentive to ! Donate, we do have prizes as we go throughout this marathon. There's a $10 minimum donation. We have a Riser Games giveaway and a New Blood Interactive Games giveaway. You can donate $10 for the chance to enter one of those, or you can make 2 separate $10 donations for a chance to enter both of them. So please get your donations in as soon as you can.
All right, and right there, what you actually saw me do was another thing that we can do with Scooby's charge attack, which is called a frame perfect. And normally, whenever you hit things with your head, you hit them and you play a little bonking animation. If you remember back in Greenhouse 2, that's what I did on the scarecrow. Is I hit him and then I played a little bonking animation. So right there, what I did is normally if you hit that spider web, you actually sit on the floor and you do a little sit, but we didn't do that because essentially if you release the B button at the same time as you hit something while you're charging, you can cancel the bonking animation and what is dubbed as a frame perfect. We actually don't know if it's perfect, if it's actually frame perfect or not, but it's pretty close, you know what I mean? And so right here, what you're normally intended to do is activate a button at the end to turn off the fire on the dishwashers, the stoves, not dishwashers. I always call them the dishwashers. I will never not call them the dishwashers.
It's the worst way to wash your dishes.
Yeah, on fire, you know. And then we're gonna make our way through Clamor 4. We're gonna get these 2 snack boxes real quick, dash around Geronimo. No, we're not. We're gonna hit him. Geronimo. Whoa, boom. And then we're going to get through the rest of these cobwebs, pay the 200 snack gate, and make our way into Manor 1.
Yeah, and we're here in Mind Your Manners now. These levels are, I guess, quite intense because there's just a lot going on. But here we're actually going to try and jump on some ledges and furniture to reach up on the chandeliers. Harder than it looks, because especially on the wall, like right here and the next chandelier we do, there's like multiple ledges you can stand on and you want the higher one. But look at that, Nestani did it perfectly, absolutely perfectly. And again, you know, we want to prioritize the snack boxes as well. And then here in Mine 2, this is probably one of my favorite levels. We're going to collect some keys and then we're actually going to do a cutscene skip by jumping on this lamp over here. And we just get to jump over the cutscene trigger. Normally it zooms in on I almost said Saul for some reason. That is so not the name of the creeper. I don't know why I was going to say Saul. I have no clue.
Sure.
But yeah,
new characters,
new
DLC released.
Yeah. And then here as well, we want to try and make some enemy cycles. And we really tried hard to push this room down a lot in time. But unfortunately, when you enter this hallway, this door right here is just on a timer when you enter that specific corridor. So unfortunately, there's not much we can do there. But the movement in this level is absolutely fantastic. I love doing that level a lot. This is another level right here where it thankfully this is like the more laid back mind level here, but we're gonna get some snacks on this carpet and get a little secret snack box right here. Those sneaky devs. And we're gonna run along here. Unfortunately, there's a cutscene right here that we can't skip, but what we can skip is normally you'd have to
we could skip it. We would just die and then go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, we'd just die. And that would not be much faster. But yeah, you're actually able to just jump over a gap there and completely skip that whole crazy platforming section here. And that was Mind Your Manners. Those were pretty quick, but we're getting to some pretty notorious levels for this category. Upstairs, personally my favorite part of the run, and you're gonna see kind of how snack routing works. So first we're gonna get that snack box, get all the snacks on the floor here. We're gonna jump up here on the wardrobe rather than using the beds, which kind of act as trampolines. We're gonna say hi to our buddy Don Knotts to get some extra snacks, and then we're gonna finally make our way through the rest of the level, which is pretty linear. It's essentially a hallway, but there's still a ton of enemies and things to dodge out of your way. But this is a great example of kind of how this category and then another category called 100% are kind of routed, where you want to break the room into like specific spots continuously, so then you can collect snacks the fastest way possible. And this level is a great example of that. You can also kind of see it in the next level as well. Very nice, very good job. That is a very difficult level to do quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, this level's actually okay.
Yeah. So what we're about to do here is that we're about to do a movement mechanic that we haven't talked about: skid jumping. That you're normally not supposed to be up here because normally you need the plungers in order to basically have those. Because if you walk on the stairs, this will happen, and then you'll slide off of them. And normally you need the plungers in order to get to the top. But instead, what we do is that we do a skid jump in order to get up there. And how skid jumps work is that in this game, we are always holding down the R button. This allows us to run and also allows us to not skid after we input a charge. And basically, if we use the skid in the middle of the air, we extend the amount of coyote frames that we have. And as well as turning in a circle for fun. And we basically extend the amount of coyote frames that we have in the air. And if you don't know what coyote frames are, basically after we, exit a ledge, get off of a ledge, we basically have a couple frames where we are allowed to jump, and we basically just get more of those. So we can input a double jump at a later date rather than right when we go off. And so that allows us to basically skid off of the trampoline and make it all the way to the top. And then right here, we're going to talk to the little Shaggy here, and he's going to throw us it. And then kind of just going to make our way on up. This is one of the few areas where we actually will participate in the minigame with Shaggy, just because there isn't really a good way of accessing the next area, because we need him to stand on the button, and we currently don't have a way of around this as of right now. As you can see, I walked on the button, little wall opened up for Shaggy. And then we're going to make our way through into the next room. And here and upstairs, what we're going to do is that we're going to try to fall down here. I got it. I have not been hitting this at all, so that's very nice. And basically, it just saves a little bit of time, because we're coming down here anyway. But because we're coming down here anyway, we can basically just do the fall while the cutscene's playing, rather than falling after the cutscene plays, essentially. We're going to do another skid jump here, make our way all the way up here, and then we're going to use Scooby's jump again to basically shift our hitbox so we can get that snack that's right on top of the witch. And then we're going to make our way on out into DLD1, which is a really cool looking level, I will say.
Yeah, it is one of my favorites. I also think that casually this is a very memorable level. Unfortunately, we got to watch
the only cutscene in the game.
Cutscene. Yep.
Only cutscene in the game we have to watch. We skip every single other one.
Wow, look at that power up. I can't wait to not get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, we're just going to be jumping down here. The roofs are slippery and things like that. This level is just very unique. There's a lot of different kind of enemies and platforms and things like that. Again, you can see more of like the kind of taking the room into specific sections and then collecting snacks as we go. I could have worded that way better. I think you guys understand what I'm saying by this point, though.
I don't understand. Can you explain it a bit more?
Yeah, so Scooby snacks, yummy.
I get it.
Also, so we just killed that bat, and that's because we're going to do this level backwards. We need to get 3 keys before we can move on to the next room, and there's normally a cutscene that plays on the other side of this room that's like a 5-second cutscene or something. It's really lame, to be honest. It's just for like that witch doctor up there on the right, but we get to skip it because the trigger is over on the right, and if we can get all the keys without even going to the trigger, then we speedrun good. And look at that, already done with Don't Look Down 2, and we're on our way to Tower. And there's actually a really cool cycle that you can make here. At the very top of this tower is a like flaming chandelier thing, like an upstairs, and if you're quick enough you can actually beat the chandelier and you don't have to wait or jump around it, and you should. Yep, there we go.
Either
nice. And now we're entering Attic. We are so close to Black Knight now. So.
Yeah. And so we're entering Attic, which is probably my favorite set of levels in NLE, just because of the next level, which is really cool. But also right there, you actually saw us do a little boost with the momentum at the bottom there. And that is because whenever we are in a slide or on like a little sliding animation where we don't have full control of Scooby, we can essentially use that momentum that we gain in any way that we want. So we can jump forward with it. We can basically sling ourselves various places using that. And you'll see us use that a lot later, especially in levels like a Gas 1. But right now, this is probably my favorite level of NLE, just because of how just nice it is to watch. It's just it's just very fluid. If I don't mess it up, that is. But it's just a very fluid, nice level where you just like really use Scooby's charge attack to its full potential, because again, I believe we've mentioned this, but if not, basically another part of Scooby's charge attack is that his hitbox shrinks to his head, meaning that as long as we're aiming our head away from enemies in the charge attack, we can move around them without getting hit by them. And so you'll see that like right there, I just aim my head around him and then I didn't get hit. And you can actually get really, really close to enemies like this, and they can be literally on top of you and you can still not get hit, as long as you're in your charging animation and your head is aimed away. And another thing I want to talk about is snacks. So you're going to see me go across the top of here to get some extra snacks. And normally, we're not usually getting these snacks, but because I'm a little bit behind on my snack count, I want to make up snacks in the fastest manner possible. So remember when I said that snacks are time? And that is because
in the fastest manner possible.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to
But
interject.
because snacks are time, essentially what we do is that we have a set snack route that we run. And essentially, if I am low on snacks, I have to make up slower snacks. So those roof snacks that you saw me collect, normally I'm not collecting those. But because my snack count is a little low, I'm collecting those because those are the fastest available backup snacks that I have. So the reason snacks are time is, again, because if I miss too many snacks, I have to make up the snacks because I have to hit these snack gate totals. And we routed it so that we, end the run with exactly 850. So that is, which is the last snack gate. The last snack gate is 850, so we're ending with exactly the amount of snacks that we need. And that is a big reason why it is important to hit snacks. And now I'm going to let Cole talk for a bit.
Yeah, so this is Dark and Stormy Night. This is another very kind of popular series of levels. You can see that at the beginning of this level, there's just a lot of things going on and a lot of cycles to make with these fire pillars and enemies and things like that. And we're also going to do another kind of little skip here where normally you'd have to press a button and do, I don't even know what they intended to do to platform to here, but there's that button we normally have to press to open a door.
Plungers.
But we're actually not going to do that. Well, plungers wasn't, you would go through here without plungers. That's before.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
But
just jump up there, forehead, just like I did.
You just jump up there. But we can do this. Yeah, we can do this where we can just jump on the little statue in the door, and we get to skip that cutscene entirely, which is always nice to do. We're going to be here in Dark and Stormy 2. We're going to see our good friend Shaggy getting chased by Geronimo again. Or this is the first time, actually. But yeah, he's like, and it's like, whatever, Shaggy. You just... But we're gonna go a little bit off the beaten path. We're actually gonna jump across here to get onto this carpet so we can reach the button quicker. What Nestani said in Attic 2, where when we were sliding on objects, we got a little momentum boost. Well, we're going to do the same thing here with that snack box on the left side of the screen that you can see right now. Normally, casually you want to get the plungers so then you can walk, because it's an invention that allows us to walk on slippery surfaces. But we can actually do a cool little speed boost and get it just like that. And there's actually another way to get that where you jump on the railing and get the snack box as well. But this way is just so much faster because you're already going to be walking back that way anyway. And it's also just, the sliding is just so much faster anyway because of that momentum boost. So it's kind of killing two birds with one stone right there. We got all the keys with Shaggy, and we are about to fight our first boss, the Black Knight.
Yes, sir. And we are about to fight the Black Knight. And again, you're going to see us just jump over this target because, again, we don't want to interact with it because, again, we can't run or jump on it. We're just kind of stuck in that animation until we get the galoshes power up from the Black Knight. And so this is Black Knight. If you don't know how this boss fight works, you could probably sniff it out by now. It is complete RNG. And so what we want him to do is go in front of all four buttons, and then we want to hit him. And then if he turns around like that, we don't hit him. So that's the boss fight. We're going to wait here for a while. And if we have any readings, now would be a perfect time to do them as we sit here looking at this guy.
You betcha. We got a $5 donation from Merne. I hope I'm saying that right. That says, I am so happy that To Write Love on Our Arms is this year's charity. I have struggled with depression for a long time, and I promise you it does get better less than 3. Thank you so much, Merne, for that donation and for sharing your story with us. And that did go toward the Liminal Ranger True Ending poll. So you can choose between True Ending and Normal Ending for that run. You can put your donations toward getting one of those 2 endings, so you can do that. We also have the next incentive that is coming up soon is the Resident Evil Remake Randomizer Costume Choice. I wonder who's going to be doing that speed run.
I wonder
who's going to be doing that.
Why'd you go villager? Oh my gosh. All right, but yeah, we're here in the fishy levels now. These are the levels right after Black Knight. But this level is very notorious, and then also the 4th level of this as well, where these conveyor belts that shift your momentum all the time, and they're very, very annoying. But we actually use these conveyor belts to our advantage most of the time, so we can speed boost along here. And look at that, Nestani's already done. It's already done this first level.
And basically, you saw me jumping as the conveyor belt was moving against me. That is because essentially, when we want to go with the momentum. So if it's going with us, you saw me going with the treadmills, and when it's going against us, you saw me jump. And that's because if we jump off like the same frame that we land from on those treadmills going against us, essentially we can preserve our momentum going forward, and that's what you saw me do. And so if you ever see me like jumping for like kind of no reason on these treadmills, that's because I'm actually going against the current. And basically if we go against the current, we'll kind of just slow down to a stop if we don't jump. So right here, we got a little extra snack there. Let's call it Good Boy Snack. And there's 2 of them in this level. And again, I talked about it a bit before, but again, snacks are time. So any extra snacks we can get, like those 2 that I got both of them. Any extra snacks that we can get along our way while not losing any time is a boon. And that's especially a boon in this level because, again, because this level is on a set cycle, so we really can't gain or lose time directly to movement unless we like horrendously mess up. Because we're just making this platform cycle, and it's a pretty forgiving cycle, all things considered. And so that is a thing with snacks, is that like we have specific snack routes because, again, we're ending with the proper amount of snacks at the very end of the run. And right here, we're just going to jump across the whole room. We're just going to do that. We don't want to play the other half of the room. It's slow, and I don't want to do that. So we're just going to do that, and we're going to slide on the floor here. This is a slippery surface, and then we're actually going to, if you heard, I did another jump in the air, and that's because you can actually cancel your momentum in the air if you double jump. So what we did there is I did use the trampoline to, you know, get up, but then I canceled it early so that I landed earlier, so that I would enter the door earlier than intended. So again, that's another spot where we're canceling momentum because it's going against us by jumping. And then right here, we're going to pay the fishy snack gate. And then again, this is 450 snacks. So if you thought we're over collecting, we're not, because we have a 500, a 750, and an 850 left. So a lot of snacks.
Yeah, and we're here in Pier 1 now as well. We're just going to go around this little loop-de-loop here to get some snacks. And this is also the last time we will actually see the tar for the rest of the game. So goodbye, Galoshes. It was great to have you, but oh well. That was another instance of the momentum stopping, by the way, if you didn't pick up on that earlier. But we're entering the coast levels now, and this level is kind of divided into 2 parts. So there's this part where there's the cave, and it's pretty straightforward. We just, you know, dodge enemies, charge around them, collect snacks. But then there's the second part of the level, and there's a cutscene that plays that we're actually going to skip. We can just barely jump over it and land on a light post that allows us to just completely skip that very annoying cutscene that it kind of just shows the whole room. I guess it's sort of just like a cinematic pan. But right here, so Nestani's going to jump up on that light post, and there we go. Skip the cutscene. Great little time save. And this room is fantastic because this room has the most snacks out of any level in the whole game. There's a ton of snack boxes, which again, they cost 5 snacks, so incredibly useful. And then at the end of this room, there's actually a bunch of wooden crates that we need to break with the helmet. There's 4 keys in there that we have to collect in order to get to the next level. But there's also a ton of snack boxes in there as well, which is absolutely fantastic for us. So we are literally getting like all the snack boxes here. Like, look at this. Oh, it's like heaven. Look at that. And then there's a little fish back there too. I'm just wandering around doing whatever. But yeah,
it keeps question marking us, dude. I don't get it. Just chase me, forehead. Like, I don't know what. But that's the thing that we can do, is that you saw me, I actually dash into the wall purposely, and that's because if you input a dash or a second double jump, you can actually manipulate the AI so that it basically redoes its like animation of I'm gonna chase you, like where are you? It basically makes them not look at you. And then right there, I actually got past that first box before it smashed. That is called Zero Cycle, and we did that by again using Scooby's charge attack, aiming away my head from those enemies, sliding all the way down. And that's like a really good showcase for that technique specifically, is that I aim my head away from those guys and I just don't get hit by them. And we'll see more of that in not the next level, but the level after the next level. We're going to see that heavily again as we go up Lighthouse 1. But for right now, what we're going to do is that, see these flying fish? We're about to use them in a similar way that we used them earlier. Well, not them earlier, but damage abuse earlier. And again, we have iframes, so we can walk on things. And so not only can we walk on things that damage us, but we can also walk on water and become Great Dane Jesus, get to the back here and collect all of these snacks. There's a ton of these back here. And then also there's an invisible fishnet here. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
It's just there. It's only there on certain versions of the game, specifically the NTSC 1.0 version of the game, which is what we're running on, which is another reason why it's the fastest version. It basically just saves like 3 seconds. It's not the biggest time save, except for like in things like any percent, it's pretty heavy. But for other categories like NLE, it's not really too big of a whoop.
Wow.
Right there, I went for, yeah, I know. Right there, I went for normally a pretty consistent ledge. Sometimes that ledge just isn't consistent. And that is what normally happens. There's a little ledge on the side of the lip there that you can jump off of and basically just get those extra snacks there. But no matter that, we're just going to make our way up here, get chased by the water there, and basically just drop down here, collect some snacks. There's a double snack there. Those are 2 snacks on 1. I don't know why they accidentally put 2 there, but we'll take them. I like extra snacks. You ain't going to hear me complain, bro. And then we're going to get into Lighthouse 1, where this is actually where the Super Smash upgrade is, which is what we've been basically going for this whole time. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, we're getting the Super Smash upgrade next. And basically how that works is that we send that button to the top, and then we are in a race to the top, and you're going to see us basically use this charge attack even more. So again, as long as I'm aiming my head around enemies, I can just slide by them. They're literally on top of me. You can literally see them touching my player model. But again, because my head is aimed away from them, we can just go around them and not take any damage, and then we just say haha, and then we just don't participate, which is very nice, because the alternative would be to frame perfect all of these on the way up, which would not be fun. That would be awful. So
that is a cursed thought.
That is a cursed thought. And we're going to fall down here, Super Smash this open, and then we're going to fall into Lighthouse 2, which is a pretty important level, because remember, beep beep, callback. Remember the where I alluded to that we're going to skip 1 snack gate in the game. This is the snack gate we're about to skip. There's a snack gate going into Creepy 1 that is in Lighthouse 2, and this costs 500 snacks. And again, snacks are timed, so we want to avoid the snack gate, but we also can't enter levels early. So how are we going to do this? So you see that snack gate in the back there, right there? We're going to warp to Shock 2, and that is because there is an intended shortcut into Creepy 1. If we come here and we use our newly acquired Super Smash upgrade, we can Super Smash these platforms and enter Creepy 1 and bypass that snack gate legally. This is an intended shortcut, and you could have even gotten this if you were a casual player and just going through the game. You could have done that as well and not had to pay the snack gate. And so we get to avoid that and then make our way into Creepy 1. And this is also a very important level for the next run after this. So just keep that in mind if you're sticking around for Cole's 80% run after. This is a pretty big level. So just remember. But for now, we're going to use Scooby's newly acquired Super Smash in order to get that snack box. So what you saw me do there is that I jumped out twice, and then I used the Super Smash to basically move myself backwards into move myself back onto the ledge, so I didn't have to jump all the way down or die. You know, you could also just jump into the pit. And so that you'll see us use that Super Smash technique a good bit in the run. In this category, we're really using every single movement option that Scooby has to its max potential. And so every single little thing helps, and even just a little extra momentum forward, a little bit of extra airtime is very key with Scooby's Super Smash. So right now, we're on our way to the plungers. We're going to do a little stutter step there and then make our way past all of these hooks in one fell swoop. And then we're going to go back across here. And then we're going to jump up here, hit some of these snacks, and then we're going to use Scooby's Super Smash here. Again, double jump. We go a bit more forward with that Super Smash, and then we can get that snack box. And then we're going to dash our way into the plungers. Jump to cancel the animation, because if you collect that, Scooby likes to play an animation where he checks out his kicks. And we don't care about your kicks, bro. We don't want to look at them. We don't care. So we're just going to cancel that by just jumping so it doesn't play that animation. And then we're going to make our way into Skull 1. And if we have any readings, now would be a pretty solid time.
Sure. Just want to let everybody know about the other incentives that we have. We do have the Resident Evil 7 game language incentive. Garlips is going to be doing a run tomorrow of, what is it? I believe it is Thunderbirds, any percent. But you can also put a donation in for a bonus game run between Casper Scare School, Jumanji, and American Tail. And American Tail is currently winning due to a donation from, let me check my notes. Oh yes, in fact, it was Garlips that actually made that donation toward American Tail. So if you want to see them run Casper Scare School or Jumanji instead and torture them, you can get your donations in for that.
That's a strong word, bro.
Wow. We also have Metal Gear Survive. You can choose male or female for the main character. We've got a run from PMC Trilogy coming up on Sunday, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and you can choose between Worf, Kira, or Cisco. For Left 4 Dead, we have Ellis and Francis as one option for the character choice, Coach and Lewis as an option for another, Rochelle and Zoe as an option for another, and Bill and Nick are the fourth option there. We've got a costume choice for Chaos Theory, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, that is coming up, I believe, tomorrow. And the 11th hour, you can choose the ending between the Robin, Samantha, or Marie endings. So be sure to get your donations in if you would like to see any one of those things play out. Your donations can change the course of the marathon.
Ooh, good line. Good line.
That was stout.
That was
some
sick. I like
goosebumps
that.
A little bit, not gonna lie. But yeah, so we're here in I almost like Coast 3. What is up with me and saying bad, like the opposite thing? Skull Cliff, right here. You can see the Nestani made an excellent platform cycle there, and also the Ghost Divers right there as well, or Captain Cutler. So we can come up here and get some snacks. But we're actually going to do quite a difficult jump next. The first and this upcoming level, the last level, is there's some pretty hard jumps, some skid jumps that we have to do. If you remember from earlier, so you're about to see another skid jump right now. Nice, and look at how he just barely got on that platform. Did another one right there as well. And there's also another way to do that where there's a ledge on the wall as well. So you
But
don't
it's
have
a
to
little
skid jump
finicky, and I
yeah,
suck
it's very
at
finicky,
it.
So
I'm
it's
not
very
going for
finicky.
it. I just did the
exactly.
skid jump. I'll just sack the snacks. It's all right. And basically that saves time, a good decent amount of time, because normally you have to wait for the platform to not only fall down but also rise, because it rises the moment you enter the level. So you actually just have to wait for the platform to rise, which is very annoying. Also, I'm scared. Okay, I made it. And we need to make this platform cycle. That was close to not making it. Fortunately, it's pretty forgiving, especially if you do the skid jump at the beginning, because it's a little bit faster.
Whoa!
Then we're gonna jump up there, yeah, and we're gonna sort of like dash along the edge of that. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry. But normally you have to go across the top and then all the way around in order to get through those ledges at the beginning. But instead, we just kind of go straight across using our skid jump twice just to get over those really big gaps. And then we're going to pay another snack gate. Oh, I forgot about the snack gate. This is a 550 snack gate. Yeah, we're paying a 550. Yeah, and now we're... Oh, there's also a 600 snack gate. Oh my goodness, there's so many. There's so many, and speaking of so many, there's also so many cutscenes that we're also going to skip. Nice. And so for some reason, if we just spam A there and just spam jump, we can just skip that cutscene about 90% of the time. There is a 10% chance where you're just going to kind of get boned, and then you're just, you just hit the cutscene and you're like, why does this happen to me? But luckily it didn't happen here. We just jump straight past the cutscene. No problem. And then we're going to collect all of these keys. And so if you notice on this ice here, I'm actually jumping in order to change my direction. That's because we go forward and it's really hard to turn on ice. And so what you're going to notice me do is that whenever I want to turn on icy floors like this, you'll see me jump and turn, because if we just turn on the ice, we'll kind of do a little like all the way around, and we just don't want to do that. So you'll see me jump, and we also can't input a dash unless we jump and land. So you saw me jump, land, and initiate the B button and B dash, because we can't B dash if we're on the ice either. We can't really do anything but just participate in the slippy whippy. But it's good because the max speed of the ice is equal to the charge stack, which is pretty nice. So we kind of just get to... Ooh, nice. I'm sick. And then I missed the box, but I'm sick. That's actually a really tight jump in order to get all the way over there. And I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of beefed the readings. I was supposed to wait a bit longer because this next level is a notorious level.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I forgot about this. So, but this, if you can probably guess from this really big camera pan, we just played the second longest level in the game, Skull 4. This is the longest level in the game. Misbehaving 3, and you can probably guess from this really big pan that we have to watch, and probably guess from everything going on, especially if you have a good nose, you can probably sniff it out. What's that smell? Is that an auto-scroller? Is that a stinky auto-scroller? Yeah, so this is an auto-scroller that we can't skip. We skipped the one in Hedge 4, and we actually do have... We basically can skip every auto-scroller in the game, except for this one. So, we're participating in this, and a silly thing about this level is that if I die, I have to do it all over again from the very beginning. So I'm going to do my best to not die, because that would just be a waste of 2.5 minutes. So we're going to...
Yeah.
So if you have any readings, you know, now would be a good time to do it. I kind of beefed you a little bit, so I apologize for that, but yeah.
Not a problem at all. I got things I can read here. Wanted to let you know again that we are raising money to write Love on Our Arms. Since 2018, they have seen 56,000 program searches, and for every 4 searches, someone has taken the next step to sit with a counselor or call a crisis hotline. Donating can help continue their goal in making people know they are loved and their life has meaning. All of your donations go toward helping this wonderful organization make real changes in people's lives. So please get your donations in if you would like to help support this amazing organization.
All right. We're just this boat, by the way, is called Twitter boat.
Yeah, because you can literally take your hands off the controller and you can literally go on Twitter there if you want. That's why I lifted both my hands. I was like, oh, I don't need to do anything here. But luckily, this is the end of the auto-scroller, so we're just going to kind of make our way through here, make sure that we do not jump in the water for fun, because, again, we do not like interacting with water at all. We don't want to be drowned or anything. That's not really fun. It's not fun to drown. So we're just going to not drown. And then we're going to make our way out, so we're good. We're clear of that. And now we're going to do a trick known as Beat My Keys. Don't ask why it's called Beat My Keys. It just is. Just don't worry about it. We're just beating these keys. We're beating them up. We're punching them in the mouth. Not really. Do keys have mouth? I guess they do have faces on it, but does that have a mouth?
Yeah,
it just has like an eye and a
teeth.
nose, you know. I guess. Yeah, sure. We're punching the keys. This is the auto-scroll I alluded to before. This is another auto-scroll that we have to participate in, but we actually do have a skip for this auto-scroller that we do in all monster tokens and all bosses, which saves about 12 seconds. But the thing is that there are a lot of snacks along the walls here, so it's actually faster for us to participate in the auto-scroller in order to get all these snacks, which is really funny to think about. That's like how bad we need snacks in this category, is that you know, we're literally doing an auto-scroller because it's faster to do the auto-scroller because of the snacks per second, rather than it is just to blow past this level, because we'd be losing a lot of snacks just for only 12 seconds of time save. We're going to jump on this urn 5 times. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
And then right here, you actually saw me skid there. No worries, because if you know that I can't skid, but as long as I skid before the cutscene, it's fine. Because for some reason, if you skid while entering a door, you lose your skid frames. But since I didn't skid after the cutscene plays, I have enough skid frames in order to slide off and die there. Now, you might be wondering, why did you slide off and die? There's a cutscene there. And I also died in the previous level because there's a cutscene there. So if you ever see me intentionally die, I'm probably skipping a cutscene. I forgot to mention it, but we skipped 2 cutscenes there just by death abusing. And again, what death abusing is that we basically die and it puts us back to where we entered the level at. And that's how death abusing works in this game. So whenever we die, we want to die if we want to go back to the beginning of the level, or just to, skip cutscenes. And so, speaking of skipping cutscenes, we're not going to. That was a terrible transition. We're about to pay a snack gate, but we can skip this snack gate. I was thinking of skip, and then I didn't say.
Yeah, and you were like, oh wait.
We skip. This is fun fact. This is the only category in the game where we pay that snack gate. The only one. Otherwise, we avoid that snack gate in every single other category, because there's just a little skip where essentially 2 warp gates are linked together, and we can basically use 1 warp gate to warp to the other. It's pretty cool, but I just wanted to mention that this is the only category where we pay that. And so we're going to get through here, and we're going to do a bit different. We're actually going to knock down those 2, these 3, but we're leaving that one up, and that's because this section ends. This section ends when all 4 gargoyles are dead, but you can kill the gargoyle with your Super Smash and then use this to jump, fall, and die. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. So normally, after you jump and get the key, there's a cutscene that plays. And so you'll notice that I spawned all the way at the beginning of the level, and I'm running all the way back across this level again. And that is because that cutscene is so long that it's faster to die and run all the way back over than it is to just watch the cutscene when you're right next to the exit. It is the most ridiculous thing in the game. I'm not gonna lie. I remember learning about that. I was like, is it really slower to watch the cutscene when you're like right there at the door? It is. Like running all the way back across the level is faster than watching that cutscene, which is really funny. But we're gonna hit all 4 of those buttons, and that is because we want these 4 snack boxes again. Snack boxes are 5 snacks. We get a quick 20 there, so it's worth it to go a bit out of our way to get a quick 20. And then this is the warp gate I was talking about that the other warp gate linked to, in case you want to know. It basically spawns you right next to Green Ghost, which is the boss that we are about to fight right now. And so in order to get to Green Ghost, we're going to collect all these snacks along our way and collect 2 keys while avoiding these tar monsters. Making that little sound there. We're going to fall here. Take a little pound on that tar monster and dash around these guys. We're going to kill this guy too, just because he's normally in the way, and you always get hit if you don't kill him, so I just always kill him. And then we're going to fight Green Ghost. And if you haven't figured out the pattern yet from the last boss fight, this is another boss fight where it's complete RNG, but this is a good start. So we need 3 hits to defeat Green Ghost instead of 4 like Black Knight. But if he goes to the middle first, we get an automatic double hit. So now we only need 1 more. And yeah, and so now we're just going to wait for the 3rd one. So again, if we have any readings, now would be a good time to do them.
Sure. I can tell you all about the prizes that we have for this event. For a $10 minimum donation, you can get entered to win either one of 2 giveaways. One giveaway is for a Riser Games Steam game, and the other one is from New Blood Interactive. So big thank you to both Riser Games and New Blood Interactive for giving us those keys. A $10 minimum donation gets you entered to 1. 2 separate $10 minimum donations can get you entered to both, but you do need to select them when you make your donation. So if you would like a chance to win one of those prizes, be sure to get your donations in.
Yeah. All right, and so after Green Ghost, basically what we're doing here is that Green Ghost gives us the umbrella upgrade, which is this, allows us to float. It lets us get to the next area, most importantly, but it also lets us get some extra snacks, which is nice. Or miss all of the snacks, haha. Or I'll just miss all of them. But you're going to see us use this umbrella a decent bit, especially in the level of Gas 1 coming up. But if you remember these levels as a kid, you'll know that Rocket and Gas are some of the hardest levels in the game. This is the other part of the game that I was talking about when I was talking about earlier in Greenhouse when I said this is one of the 2 hardest sets of levels in the game. This would be the second one, and that's because of the next level, Wreck 2. It's really just the 2s, Wreck 2 and a Gas 2. Both very, very difficult, but for now, we're just going to kind of wait for these water cycles. Again, even the water is on a cycle, so enemies and water. So we're making a water cycle in this level in order to get these snacks. And again, so like even water is on a cycle. So we use everything that moves on a cycle. When we say everything, we mean everything. And now I'm going to shut up forever.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a very infamous level, and you can see right here we're actually going normally man, I have a lot to explain that I didn't realize. So how this level works is you basically just bounce around on all these trampolines, and it's designed for you to precisely platform with the newly unlocked umbrella. And normally there's a bunch of buttons that you have to press to move these sails that the Nestani's bouncing on right now. And they move over to the right, but we're actually going to do this level by skipping just like this, pressing all those buttons entirely by using that super smash technique that Nestani mentioned earlier to maximize your distance a little bit further. And then at the very beginning, there was actually a tiny little ledge on the boat that you entered from that allowed you to completely negate the use of the first button entirely. So you can see those things that move towards everything that would have activated with those buttons. And Nestani did this level perfectly. Those jumps are incredibly hard to do. Yeah. Combined with a pretty awkward camera angle, it really is very hard to perceive where you can land sometimes.
Casual players also hate that level. I hate that level. Casual speedrunners, we both hate that level. We firm handshake on that level for being one of the hardest levels in the game. But right here, we're just going to bounce off of this guy and then jump up to the top, and then we're going to make our way into a Gas 1, which is a really good case of how momentum is going to work. So you're going to see me do some fun stuff in this level. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to make it to the top of these boats using our umbrella upgrade. And we're basically fighting momentum the whole time. So right there, I swung myself off of the boat and then used the momentum from the boat to flick myself backwards and up into that snack box. And you're going to see me do that a couple more times like right here. And that's because we're on a slippery slope here. So if I go backwards, I will literally fly backwards. So we're fighting the momentum the whole time, which is why you see me jumping so much. And we're going to bounce off of this witch there, and then we're going to float down, do a little stutter on our umbrella there just to fall a bit faster. And then we're going to jump all the way up here, bounce off of this witch, bounce off of this flying fish, whoop, and then fly just like that. As you see, I was traveling against it, and I flew backwards. And then I'm going to use the lip of the ship to fly downwards and use the momentum to go down. It's a really, really sick level where you can use momentum to really its fullest potential. And now we're going to enter probably the hardest level in the run, I guess, too. At least for me, I find it very difficult.
Yeah, so this level is kind of divided into two parts. There's this first section here where we're just trying to dodge enemies.
Yeah, we're really trying.
And just collect. There's a lot of snacks in this level. In fact, this level and the next level, Gas 3, have some very nice quick snacks for us as well. So we were able to get up there by using the Super Smash on the Witch and then the Hide again. Probably annoyed some people we didn't collect the Redbeard monster token, but oh well.
It's slow, man. I can't hit it. You know. I say as I hit 300 enemies.
This is the difficult part of the level. Obviously, the camera angle is quite annoying. The platforms can spin, or like in this case right here, they spin and sink and stuff like that. And we actually have some cycles that we'd like to make so we can collect these snacks as quickly as possible. We really want to prioritize the snack boxes as usual. So like, you know, if you miss a snack, whatever, it's better to play it safe and just miss like one snack than try and go for it for whatever reason. And there's also a cycle here that you can make as well, where you can jump onto this platform without having to wait, which Nestani did. So we're on our way to a Gas 3. This level again has some of the fastest snacks in the game because, I mean, look at this. It's all beautiful snacks right next to each other in an arc. It's even faster backwards. We used to do this in 90%. But you can see back there, or you can see it again now, that there's another snack gate that we have to pay. That is the second to last snack gate we will be paying, and it's 750 snacks. Yeah, we are super close. In that ship as well is going to be the third boss fight that we're about to fight already, which is the Redbeard boss fight. So here we go, right here. There's the snack gate, 750. Only one more to go, 850, but we got a lot of snack collecting to do. So. And we're here in Shiver Your Timber Scooby. This is a pretty fun level. This is also in a demo for people who played on GameCube. The idea behind this level is that you you collect 4 keys to unlock the door in the back, which is the door to the boss fight. But you can see here that we climbed on the rope, and we also did some momentum movement here to collect the keys and collect most or all of the snacks in the arc. Very, very tricky to do. Nestani is making this look so much easier than it actually is, but there's just a lot of forces and physics going on here to make it quite difficult. But yeah, Nestani's doing a pretty good job here as well. There's just some awkward platforming we got to do right here.
That was really good.
That was really good, yeah. And jumping up here, gonna press this button to get some conveyor belts. And collecting some snacks. There's the 4th key up here, and that door down there behind the giant ice block where the caveman is, right there, that's where the Redbeard boss fight is. But before we do that, you can see that there's a ton of snacks up there by the ghost divers that we're going to get real quick. We're going to get the snacks on the floor first, and then the snack boxes up top next. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We are about to fight. Ooh, very nice ground pound movement there. But yeah, here we go.
We're going to enter the Redbeard boss fight, which is the most volatile part of the NLE run. And you're going to see why. Hopefully. Well, actually, you're hopefully not going to see why. Well, whatever. So what we want to do is that there's 4 ropes, and essentially we want Redbeard to throw his sword straight up, 21-21, to cut all 4 at the same time. And we have a little setup for this, and we'll see if I hit it. Oh, let's go,
Nice.
dude.
Good job.
Not out of the weeds yet. All right, that's the last pause storage of the
Nice.
run, and we got the 4 rope, and that is huge. But before we talk about why that's so important, I'm going to hit this magnifying glass and become invincible and walk through the fire. And into the door.
Normal everyday stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So we can enter this level earlier than intended without having to... well, we're not entering it earlier than intended. We're just entering it without playing the mini game, rather. Bad ward suggestion. So what we do here is we drag Shaggy over, and we're basically just playing this level in the casual form. But basically, what Redbeard is that he has 4 ropes, and I'm gonna get hit by all of these hooks while I'm trying to talk, and I'm gonna hit that guy too. Let's go. And basically, if we don't get a 4 rope there, essentially what happens is that we lose a bunch of time. And basically, if you just get single ropes the whole time, you lose 1.5 minutes of time instantly. So if you don't get a 4 rope, you automatically lose about 20 seconds depending on how many ropes you cut. If you get a 3 rope, you're going to lose probably about 30-ish seconds. And if you get like a 2 rope and a 2 rope, you'll lose probably about 20-ish seconds. There's various combinations where you'll lose either more or less time depending on how many multi-ropes you get. And basically, if you don't get any multi-ropes, you lose 1.5 minutes, which is why I said it's a bit, it's a bit volatile because it's also near the very end of the run, which is not fun. Because you'll do this whole run, you'll do like a whole hour, and then you don't get the 4 rope, and you're like, well, I guess I'm not PB. Guess that's it. So that's pretty fun. But we're just gonna make our way through Gus here, and we're just gonna kind of just make our way through, and basically just do this level pretty much in the casual way that you would do it yourself, because we're gonna float to the top. You have to get all 4 keys in order to unlock this door here, and so that we can make our way into cellar. And then we're gonna do a little float into that key, and then we're gonna do a little pump down with the umbrella, make sure we get that snack box, jump over that guy, and then we're gonna make our way to here, the slow fan. And if you know, this fan's really slow, but we don't want to participate in the slow fan, so we're gonna jump up invisible ledges along the wall and make our way all the way to the top and skip the slow fan. And when I say slow fan, it is slow. Like it is.
It's like it's a turtle riding on a snail slope.
Yeah, it's bad. And so I think now would be a pretty solid time for another donation read, or not donation read, any other readings if we have them for the next foreseeable future. We're just going to do some really cool movement coming up.
You betcha. I want to just remind everybody, we do have the donation incentives for the games that are coming up. The upcoming donation incentive, like the one that will affect the closest run in the future, is the Resident Evil Remake Randomizer costume choice. You can choose between Casual, Army, BSAA, or Stars. Whichever one of those you would like to see, you can get your donations in for that. And then after that, I do believe we have the Resident Evil 7 game language incentive. You can choose between German, Spanish, Japanese, or English. And those will be both happening during the Resident Evil block later today.
All right.
Okay.
And this is Cella 3. And basically this level is there's kind of just nothing in this level, I'm not going to lie to you. So we're kind of just going to skip it outright. We're going to collect that snack box. And then we're basically just going to collect these keys here. Ow. And then we're actually going to go through the side door here, and we're going to get some extra snacks because I need them. And so we're just going to go collect those snacks. And again, these are all backup snacks that I'm collecting. Again, my snack count has been a bit rough this run, unfortunately, but just collect some backup snacks. We're not losing too much time there, but that is a reason why snack collecting is so important, because if we miss snacks, we really can lose out on a ton of time. Luckily, I haven't lost out on a ton of time, just a little bit. And so right here, this is another set of slippery floors, but we're going to do a thing where we're going to use our charge attack off of a button and then basically slide our way around here, and then we're going to jump off of this guy, jump up, ground pound this guy, and then come back to the ice block that we jumped off before, get this snack box, and then jump off, and then make our way through the slippery floor. It's a really fun level to watch, at least for me. It's just a very nice level when it goes well. And then here, we're just going to open up some of these washing machines, and then we're going to use the railing to jump up to the ghost, get the soap upgrade finally, and then we're going to make our way back into Creepy 3, and now we're actually heading to the lab where Mastermind is. So we're now heading to the final portion of the game. That was the final upgrade that we needed to collect in order to be able to enter the rest of the levels in the game. So now we can technically go anywhere that we want in the game now that we have the soap. But remember how I said we're not using the soap at all in the run? We're about to find out why, because in the next level, Creepy 2, essentially there is, you're supposed to use the soap in order to, again, the soap creates platforms around enemies. So there's bats that will spawn in this chasm after we get the soap. And normally you're supposed to soap these bats in order to get to the top of the room. But instead what we're going to do is we're going to jump off of 2 invisible ledges, and then we're going to just do soap skip. And we're going to get up just like that without using the soap. We call it soap skip because we're using it without the soap. But again, we have the soap. So just don't worry about it, you know, just don't worry about it. All right. And then we're going to kind of float up here with this fan. And when we say the slow fan, I mean like the slow fan back in Gus is probably 2 times slower than that fan. It's really bad. It's like, it is slow. It's like crawling, for no reason. I know, like and for what? Like slow and for what, you know? I don't get it, man. But
Speedrun is the least favorite thing. But yeah, we are on our way. This is the lab. This is like the last section before the final boss. And we're entering lab 2 here. There's unfortunately a little cutscene that we got to watch. It's not too long though. But I know some people are not the biggest fans of these levels in particular, just because there's not much going on and stuff like that. But this level's pretty straightforward. So we got to just press that button in the back. It's going to open a door to the other part of this level. And we're just going to jump up on a platform real quick, collect some snacks, and then we'll also, you can see a little monster token up there. Not going to collect it. We could just barely not get it. Literally, like, go through it.
Yeah, there's like an invisible ledge on the wall that we can jump off to get that, but, I mean, we don't need the token, so.
Another cutscene here, Lab 3. We just gotta, and you're gonna see Nestani do this, is that if you jump and then you can immediately press the Super Smash button just like that, Scooby can Super Smash really low to the ground, and that's gonna be useful because these buttons are notorious for being some of the most annoying buttons in the whole game. For some reason, they're very, very picky about when they want to be pressed, and so doing that allows Nestani to like kind of slide along the button so then it counts for as like much as possible. I said that a little bit poorly, but I think you kind of understand what I'm saying with that. Yeah. But Nestani did it well. There was only like one time I think that the button was acting weird, but we get to jump on. Okay. We get to jump on this invisible ledge here, so we don't have to go to the other side of the room, and we're going to glide right over to this button, which opens the door back to Lab 2. That's because we need elevation to glide down with the umbrella to actually reach the boss fight door, or like to continue to the boss fight. So yeah, now we're up top in this room. We get some nice snack boxes, and look at this. Look at what we got ourselves right here. Jump up here for another snack box. We have 850 snacks at the 850 snack gate. Ended it off with 0.
So
just
if
like
you thought we were
earlier.
going out of our way to collect snacks, we're not. We're literally collecting the exact amount of snacks that we needed. So you saw me go out of my way a little bit to collect snacks, a lot of snacks in the run. That's why we're still ending with exactly 850. We routed it down to a T. Don't worry, we're not wasting any time collecting snacks. And then now we're just going to kind of play this minigame with Shaggy, and we're going to do a really fun trick called Shark Room Skip. And again, we're basically what we do is we don't need to play the minigame with Shaggy because we can just hold up left on our D-pad and just walk through the door. So Shaggy's just gonna die to that shark now. It's over for him. Yeah, he's
I'll
actually
be his eulogy.
Yeah, you know, I'll be at his funeral. You know, that's just unlucky for him. Nah, I'm just messing. He's right there. He's in the back with the game. He's fine. Don't worry about it. Now we're gonna do Mastermind. If you want to take that, Cole.
Yeah. So real quick, we're gonna clip through this wall. just like that. And there's this boss fight's a little weird to explain. So normally you have to kill enemies and then press these two buttons right here, and there's 3 phases that we have to do. So you'll see how a phase is normally done right here, but we're actually able to skip 2 of them. So we were able to skip the first one by clipping through the wall. We also skipped the cutscene there because we were able to just hit the buttons without activating the cutscene or anything. We just killed the second phase here, and we're going to wait a little bit to press that next button, specifically 5 seconds, because then we're going to trick the game into thinking we already completed the 3rd phase, and we are already at the mastermind portion of this boss fight. So where the mastermind spawns is completely random, but the idea is that we need to knock him into the electricity in the background. Again, where he spawns is completely random, but when the mastermind hits electricity, that's when timer ends. So we'll try and do our best to give a countdown.
And also using the gum upgrade from Redbeard to just make sure these guys aren't in our way.
Yeah,
because that would be annoying. Also, he spawned and I couldn't see him, so I missed a mastermind spawn. That's funny, but you know, at least I'm not dead.
He's been.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't see him.
This will mean a better countdown. So
yeah, yeah. So now we wait until the electricity comes back, which will be fun. So for you all to stop the timer. So once it spawns, the timer will stop. I don't know when it's gonna spawn.
And
there you go.
Sorry, no countdown.
No countdown. It's fine. I'm gonna just pause the game because otherwise the cutscene will play forever and ever, amen. And we don't want the cutscene to play forever, ever, amen. That's no levels early. Scooby-Doo 900 Frights, and yeah. I guess just quick shout outs. My channel is twitch.tv/Nestani. I'm literally going to do a swap with Cole, and I'll be on the mic for Cole's run coming up. So
yeah,
a little shout out there. I don't really mind shout outs, but that's
I just wanted to shout out. Yeah,
I
just wanted to shout out one person in particular because this category has meant a lot to me. It's my favorite. His name was Headhunter. I used to love watching his NLE runs. He inspired me to pick up this category and do stuff like that. That's it. Just want to give him a special shout out.
HIG.
But yeah, so
thanks for having me, Horrible Games.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, everybody sit tight. We'll be back in just a minute with another speed run. Don't go anywhere.
To some stuff that may or may not happen in Chapter 3. That's the long and short of what's happening here.
I had so much time.
So while we're